Hello, subscribers. Welcome to your weekly subscriber-exclusive episode of James and Loki's Gems of the Week, friends. There's Loki. I added a James cam header above me, so we'll both have a cam indicating who you're looking at when Loki is in bed sleeping, like he is right now. Look at this little guy, all tuggered, trying to stay warm with his blankies there. And I'll just do what I always do, walk you through all the posts that I liked on X over the previous week and talk about them. Here's the last one we saw last week from CERN Basher. I wanted to make this a standalone clip that I made public, just the last post that I liked last week, and I forgot. So maybe I'll do that after I record this video and get that posted, but I know I have to get this video posted because I'm late. Normally I do that over the weekend. I knew I had all week off this week, so I procrastinated and didn't get it done Saturday or Sunday. We did other stuff instead on those days. And let's just jump into it with this first of many tweets, surely, that I liked from Sawyer Merritt. Google CEO on who is the leader in the self-driving space. I think obviously Tesla is a leader in the space. It looks to me like Tesla and Waymo, his self-driving division of his company, are the top two. So show this to the next hater who tells you that
obviously,
Tesla's in last
Tesla
place
is a
in
leader in the
autonomy.
space. So I think it looks to me like, Tesla, Waymo, I would say those are the top two.
There you go. Tesla and Waymo, the top two. He said to his friend Jonathan, that's an inside joke. Elon Musk called Andrew Ross Sorkin Jonathan once, and then he had to say, "I'm Andrew." Forgot who he was talking to. Here's one from Sat Satoshi at SA_futurist. Only in Japan, I forgot a brand new backpack on the upper shelf of the Shinkansen, the bullet train, and I got it back the next day. I also helped a Singaporean couple who dropped their wallet with a passport in the metro and retrieved it at the end of the line. Yeah, the recovery rate on lost items in Japan is astonishingly high. I saw a special about this once, where even unattended cash, like large amounts, like thousands of yen, can be just sitting on the sidewalk. And people who live in Japan will turn it in to the police. Unattended cash, they'll give to the police. They'll say, "Hey, here's where I found this money." And then the person who lost that money will go to the police and say, "Hey, I lost 7,000 yen," or whatever it was. And the police will be like, "Oh yeah, somebody turned that in. Here you go. There's your money." That's very unusual, but that is the society in Japan. Look at this video. People don't lock up iPhones in the Apple Store. You can just pick it up and use it like you would use an iPhone without, the arresting cable being firmly attached to it, preventing you from using it like a normal mobile device in the store. Do not try this in San Francisco. You will lose all of your product because they don't enforce laws always in San Francisco. All right. Here's one from Mario Knopfel at Mario Knopfel that I liked. Kevin O'Leary said, Elon is unprecedented. There are different kinds of people in life that I've learned in investing in many managers and entrepreneurs and working for some of them. There's the idea of signal and noise. I worked for Steve Jobs, not a very nice guy, but he was 90% signal during the day and 10% noise, noise being distractions that he would agree to be distracted by during the working day. His working day was 20 hours. He wasn't that social a guy, and look what he achieved. Now, Elon Musk, I know with certainty, is 100% signal. I've never met a man like that. And look what he's achieved. It's unprecedented, and he would be a profound force if set free to go to work on government to find inefficiencies. And I'd like to see that happen. He's got social issues around being 100% signal, but Do I think he should be involved with Trump? Does it make Trump a better administrator? Does it make his administration more powerful? 100%. If somebody has to advise Trump, why not let it be Elon Musk, right? Is his point. We don't know how much Elon will be engaged, but you can't deny what this man has achieved. There's never been an entrepreneur like him. I say, release the hounds, release them onto the hill, Capitol Hill, and let's see what happens. Interview with Pierce Morgan, that is the thoughts expressed by Kevin O'Leary in my voice instead of in his. If you want to hear it in his voice, go watch the video from Mario Knopfel, posted December 16th. Elon replied, nice of him to say that. I don't know if anybody is 100% signal. Like, Elon isn't 100% signal. No one can be. But when he's at work, he's focused. Here's one from Drake, the real Drizzy with two eyes. Actually, Tesla is very competitive and smart about how they operate sales. Sales reps essentially do zero paperwork, spend most of their day talking about Teslas on the phone or in person. The hours compared to her last job are fantastic. She's making 11% more than her last job that was way more labor intensive and commission based. She has great benefits. I don't think she's undercompensated at all. Personally replying to Kevin Melnick, this jerk who I often see posting just awful things to people. Ask what she gets paid to sell 6 Teslas was his comment, replying to the thread begun by Drake. I just asked my girlfriend, who is a sales rep at Tesla, how many cars did you sell today? She nonchalantly answers 6. My mind is immediately blown because I've never sold 6 cars in a day. She is selling Teslas like hotcakes. I don't remember the last day she told me she didn't sell anything. Yeah, Kevin Melnick, I don't think I've ever seen a post from this person that I liked. Pretending to be an EV supporter, but really a Rivian shill, as you can see from the Rivian referral code in his profile. All right, let me back out of there and keep going. Here's one from Viv at Battle Angel Viv. Choose the company where almost all the staff enjoy using and are raving about their products in their free time. That's Tesla. People who work for Tesla love Teslas. That's just a good old standalone post. Penny said, I think that's X. Yeah, same kind of deal, right? Elon has a talent for finding people who have a passion for making great products, and then he hires them and lets them do it. What a concept. Here's one from Holmar's catalog at Holmar's blog. Name one other company where people get so excited and post that they got a software update. Yeah, that's pretty rare that people are that happy about a recent software update from a company that makes products that they own. Here's one from Christopher Dungeon. At Chris Dungeon, 467.73 puts hashtag Tesla at a $1.5 trillion market cap. So anytime you see Tesla trading above 467, you will know that's $1.5 trillion worth of market capitalization, or how much the market is currently valuing the company at. They're saying Tesla is a $1.5 trillion company. Here's one from Sawyer Merritt. I think the biggest reason Tesla stock is up so much since early November is Trump winning and the close Trump-Elon relationship. Had Kamala won, the release of V13 and good Q3 earnings wouldn't have been enough to cause this big of a rally. More and more people are opening their eyes to how good FSD has gotten and how it continues to improve, and a lot of Wall Street analysts have suddenly turned bullish. But I don't think that would have happened without Trump winning. It's also a little bit of a snowball effect. I mean, for goodness sake, Roth Capital is now bullish. That is the Craig Irwin crew. If you don't know who Roth Capital is, they have been anti-Tesla almost the entire time, or just low price targets on Tesla the whole time. All of Elon's companies are going to benefit massively from a Trump presidency. The EV credit will likely disappear, and the EV movement in general will probably suffer, but Tesla will benefit in so many other ways. that are a little bit hard to quantify at the moment. Self-driving regulations, for one. I don't think losing the EV credit will matter that much in the grand scheme of things. It'll make it harder for Tesla to sell EVs, but it'll make it harder for everyone to sell EVs in the US with no EV credit. So really, the value proposition is going to have to be there for people to want to buy an EV. And we know that is true for Tesla. It's less true for makers of other vehicles, right? If the Hyundai Kona EV doesn't have the tax credit, are people as likely to buy one, or are they likelier to just go buy a Tesla that's giving them more bang for the buck? In terms of sentiment, 2021 felt euphoric, but this time feels different in that the assumptions for Tesla feel more realistic. With Trump about to be president again, there's a fundamental shift happening right now. Optimus progress has been incredible, and it's pretty clear to me that Tesla will achieve full autonomy. It's just a matter of when. What we're witnessing right now is a repricing. Tesla is not merely a car company, it is an AI robotics and technology company. Its valuation should reflect this, and is starting to. And if you're wondering why he only got 61 likes, here's the clue. It was a subscribers-only post that I showed you against the rules. Sawyer, let me know if you're angry with me for sharing your subscriber-only post. I thought it was a good post and I gave it a like. And now I have shown it to you whether you subscribe to Sawyer Merritt or not. I imagine more than half of you do, and we're able to see that post anyhow. But if not, there's a sneak peek of what you could be getting if you were a subscriber to Sawyer Merritt. There, I made it a plug for you to get more subscribers, Sawyer, so you should be happy and not upset with me for showing people that. If you're watching the video. Here's one from Satoshi. It's another one from Satoshi. After hours is $469.29. Tesla is skyrocketing. Yeah, that was near the highest we saw. It did close the following day $10 higher than this. 479 and change, I think, was what happened the day after December 16th. Without looking at my notes to reference and see if that's right or not. So yeah, Tesla is on a tear lately. Here's one from Jordan Giesecke. The limiting factor at limiting the is his handle. Sweet, I totally missed that. I did a search on his profile and it didn't turn up for some reason. Operator error, LOL. What's going on here? Well, let's scroll to the top and see a thread begun. It's been a while since we've gotten an update on the Stevenson indicator. It must be up around $700 now. I'm looking forward to being back above the trend line. Yeah, today, as I record, December 23rd, is the day Stevenson indicator crosses $700. So great ballparking there, Jordan. And he was reposting my Stevenson indicator update from May. Well, I've made them more recently than that, as pointed out by Matt Smith here, replying, we actually did get an update recently, but wow, am I impressed with your gut estimate of the stupid indicator. Stevenson indicator doesn't mean anything, it's just a line that everybody noticed when the stock was doing this. Every time the stock would bounce off that line, people would say, hey, there's a line here. And I just thought it would be hilarious for me to call it Stevenson indicator as though I had anything to do with the appearance of it. Mayor Talker, Fresh Shiva, decided it would be funny if I put a TM, a trademark, on it for added emphasis of the self-importance. Which cracked me up so much that I do that all the time. I put the TM at the end. Uh-oh. I unwittingly gave a command to my camera, and now I have to fix it. Let me do this and see if it'll lock in. Okay, that's better. And then I'll tilt it back over some. And back to share desktop. Hey, that worked out okay. All right, I will have to be more careful to not give hand gestures to my OBSbot that it knows mean that it should start or stop tracking me or zoom in or zoom out. So that's where that came from. All right. The next post that I liked, apart from the one you just saw, came from Gustav Andersen at Anatomy UMEA. I don't recall seeing a lot of posts from Gustav over the years, but I liked this one. OG fam still got the slap. Hashtag Stevenson Indicator TM for life. SITM for life. Pretty funny. Some of you in this viewing audience have one of these tiny stickers. So when you sign up via Patreon, they tell you, hey, we can set up different tiers for subscribers. If you want to be at the $25 a month support level, you'll get t-shirts. If you want to be at some other support level, you'll get stickers, right? And I said, sure, why not? And I gave them a few of my charts, one of which was the OG Stevenson indicator back when it really was support for the stock price, or had been support for a while for the stock price. And that's what that sticker does. So if you subscribe through Patreon, you'll get one of these teeny tiny stickers that you might, I don't know, keep in a drawer. let me know, those of you who have these stickers, what you did with them. Patreon made it seem like it was a good idea at the time, and they are definitely collector's items. There are not thousands of these in circulation. There's a small number of those that exist. Here's one from Herbert Ong, at Herbert Ong. Sundar Pichai shared his thoughts on autonomous vehicles and Waymo's biggest competitor at the 2024 New York Times Deal Book Summit. So we already saw this interview, and I liked it again when I saw it again with a different clip. Here's one from Nicholas Shanks at NickShanks_. Today, I am up 2.5x my annual salary since yesterday. The effects of compounding growth on stock investment. If you were investing in Tesla stock in a big way in 2010, stuff like this can happen. Just ask Jason DeBolt, Chris Dungeon, Satoshi, any of them who've been investing for a really long time in a really big way can tell you it's eye-popping the gains or losses you can see on paper on a daily basis by virtue of owning that many shares of Tesla post-splits. Here's one from Brian White, first of his posts we've seen this week, probably won't be the last. At Futuraza, posting many Tesla investors have outperformed the best analysts and hedge fund managers, and I'll tell you why. They often cover dozens or hundreds of companies. Who does? These Wall Street analysts and hedge fund managers, usually in a single sector like automotive. Not always. If you're a hedge fund manager, you might be trying to cover the entire market all by yourself if you're a small outfit. Most of us really only cover one company in many sectors. We see things they cannot. Tagging me, Cern Basher, Randy Kirk, and executive producer of this program, Bradford Ferguson, at Brad S. Ferguson is his handle. So, yeah, that's one of the things that you'll see given as advice sometimes is concentrate your investments in a position that you understand really, really well. Whatever your highest confidence position is in terms of future earnings growth relative to current market capitalization. If you think there's a stock that is very undervalued and you have very high confidence in it, you should concentrate your investment there. Not investing advice, do your own research for entertainment purposes only, etc. For the reason that Brian White just outlined. Here's one from Ryan McCaffrey that I reposted and liked. SiriusXM had a problem where they were making people create new accounts even if they already had premium accounts. They wouldn't let them log into their existing premium account from their Tesla. And Ryan McCaffrey got it fixed. They did fix this issue. After all this social media engagement, he was successful in driving over that bug in the software. So they got it fixed. Credit to Ryan McCaffrey, more than, I would say, credit to SiriusXM. They might have gotten away with it if it weren't for you snooping kids, Ryan McCaffrey, so good work. Here's the first of a few posts we'll see on Karen, Mrs. James Dauma, the girl with the Mozart tattoo at Phi Beta Kitten, all of her various social media identities after 6 months of medical hijinks, stage 4, triple plus breast cancer, extremely nasty but effective chemo, etc. It's time to debut my temporary bald Cybertrunk Luke and to give James Dauma back to the Tesla community. Jimmy is the best husband and best caretaker you could ever ask for or imagine. Wow, did I luck out with that one? So great stuff there. A whole lot of folks like that post. And I was one of them. Congratulations on beating cancer. One of the best things you can beat, in my opinion. So good stuff there. And the follow-up post, I should explain it's been almost 2 months since my last chemo infusion. This is not what I looked like or felt like mid-treatment. In late October, I was hospitalized for malnutrition and could barely walk for more than a few minutes. It was brutal. We do not like cancer, etc. All right, here's another one from Brian. V13 first drive, got it last night, immediately downloaded, went for a drive, and here we are. It is amazing. All the little problems fixed, maybe not all, but 90% of what was left to do. Just wow. I am still waiting for V13, but V12 actually did something for me yesterday that it has never done before. It offered to try to drive down the alley in back of my house. That's how I park my car and charge it, is I park it in the garage, which is behind my house, which you have to drive through an alley to get to. And my Tesla has never once offered to try to drive itself down that alley until yesterday. I saw that. I happened to see it on the map after I had disengaged to drive the way to get to my house that doesn't park in front of my house. And then I saw on the map that it was willing to give it a shot, and I let it try, and it needed a couple of accelerator nudges from me to get down the alley, and it stopped before it got to my driveway. But progress, right? So maybe we'll get V13 once it's available for Hardware 3 vehicles, and maybe at that point, it'll be able to make it all the way to where I park my car so that I can charge it. That would be awesome. Elon replying, and it only gets better from here to that post that you just saw. So great to see Elon interacting with Brian White at Futuraza. If you're not supporting Brian, go watch some of his YouTube videos and then decide whether you should be supporting him and the work that he does. He's got a lot of great videos out recently on Robotaxi and Cybertruck and every Tesla topic you can think of. He interviews a lot of great guests most weeks, and go check him out. See if that's an account you think is worth supporting. Here's one from Rebellionaire. At Rebellionaire 3 instead of an E at the end. First FSD V13 accident. Check out what happened and why V13 still saved the day. Reposting himself. This is the official Rebellionaire account reposting the personal account for Bradford Ferguson with the video of the rear ending. He was able to stop in time when traffic came to a sudden halt, but traffic behind him was not able to stop in time. So he got rear-ended here. You'll see in the video as he suddenly stops under this overpass with a big truck next to him and gets smacked into from behind, but does not chain reaction into the car in front of him. So glad you're okay, Bradford. Glad that your Tesla was driving safely. Sorry you got slammed into by somebody else. Like, this is the reason the FSD accidents will never be zero. It's, well, maybe not never. Never's a long time. This is the reason why you will still hear about there being accidents on FSD, no matter how good FSD gets at driving. Yeah, I think I'm okay. putting that qualification on it. No matter how good FSD gets, it's still possible that other traffic on the road could crash into you. While you're stopped waiting at a light, some other vehicle could crash into you that's being driven by meat pilot, stupid pilot, human pilot, could still crash into you, as happened here to Bradford. All right, I think I made that point sufficiently well. Here's one from Dave Lee. I'm not complaining. Hashtag Tesla. Dave Lee owns a lot of Tesla stock, if you didn't know that about Dave Lee. I think he has a successful business selling iOS apps and has for a long time, and has been putting a fraction of the surplus cash flows from that business into purchasing Tesla stock for a long time. So he owns a lot of it, and he's not complaining. A lot of people liked that post. Here's one from Christopher Dungeon. All you had to do was hold. Hashtag Tesla. Yeah, a lot of people are very happy to have just held their Tesla stock up to the prices we were seeing December 16th and 17th. Here's one from Yashu Sharma. Tesla Q Logic. Tesla sucks, but let me dedicate my entire life to talking nonsense trash about it. Twitter is terrible. Blue Sky is better. Actually, I'll still post on X all day long. These stuff Tesla Q says. Trust me, Tesla is actually a fraud, but no one else has figured it out yet. I'm just smarter than everyone. Idiots. All right, so some good Tesla Q logic pinned by Yashu Sharma there at Hey It's Yashu. Here's one from Eva McMillan. Could be Ava McMillan. I don't know. At Eva's Tesla S Plaid. I see so many impersonators of this account. Every possible derivative of this handle you can think of, there is an impersonator of Eva McMillan. GLJ Research raises Tesla's hashtag Tesla price target to $24 from $22. So huge price increase here. If you do the pre-splits on this, that would have been a $30 price target increase from Gordon Johnson, which used to be referred to as a Gordon and a half worth of price target increase. So funny. Yeah, with Tesla up over $450, Gordon Johnson decided to raise his price target from $22 to $24. That is hilarious. Here's Herbert Ong. Tesla stock went up a Gordon today. We should be at $500 after two more Gordons, but too bad Tesla is a busted growth story. With the clown emoji there, it's hard to keep up with how much a Gordon is. The inflation on Gordons was out of control, but due to Tesla's stock splitting a couple of times, among other reasons. So nobody can decide how much a Gordon is. Is it $1.33? Is it $5? Is it $20? $20 seems to be the most popular amount to call a Gordon. Here's one from Elon Musk. Please stop using hashtags. The system doesn't need them anymore. And they look ugly, with a screenshot here from Dan. Or sorry, that's a repost of Dan at Kettlebell Dan. Grok weighs in on using hashtags on X, saying that you should not use them. I'm having so many problems with my OBSBot. I'm disappointed that it keeps making me pause the video and fix it. So I replied to Elon. Farzad replied, hashtag make me. Let's see. Jason Calacanis replied, hashtag message, hashtag confirmed. Tesla economics, okay, I won't. I must be in here someplace. I know I replied. There must be a reply from me in here someplace. Shouldn't they have shown me my reply by now? Come on, X algorithm. I know you're not showing other people my posts, but at least show them to me. I want to see where my reply is. Maybe my viewers also want to see where my reply is. Shouldn't it be here somewhere? I say it should. Come because I can't remember which hashtag joke I made. I mean, I know it involved hashtags, but I don't remember how I decided to phrase it before I hit post, before I hit send. Look at all these replies from all these people that I don't care about. Why is the algorithm showing those to me? All right, I'm going to pause it and find it. Okay, it took me a solid 5 minutes to find it. I had to go back through all of my replies to get to it, but here's that post again from Elon Musk. I need to set up the punchline by reading you the original post. Please stop using hashtags. The system doesn't need them anymore, and they look ugly. I replied, hashtag stop using hashtags. Hashtags, seriously, you guys. Hashtag, you're doing it right now, aren't you? That I thought that would be funny. 42 or 43 other people thought that as well, but X decided to stop showing people the reply, including me. I couldn't even find this reply, no matter how far down I scrolled looking for this reply. So let me know if you know or have a theory what's happening with the X algorithm where I'm seeing stuff that got 0 likes or 1 like instead of this reply that got 43 likes from people. Did Elon say hide all replies that contain hashtags or something? No, he didn't, because we saw the one from Farzad that said hashtag make me. So yeah, I don't know how the X algorithm decides to not show people my reply, including me. Maybe anything with more than one hashtag gets suppressed. I thought it was a high quality joke. A lot of other people did too. Where do I file my complaint? Because now I have to pause the video again and get back to my likes feed to show you where we were. I will pause the video while I do that. All right, I'm back. That only took another 30 seconds, but the X algorithm is not helping me make this video quickly. It's a long video most weeks under normal circumstances, but I should stop complaining about it, but it's a mild irritant and inconvenience to me trying to make a video in this format where I just want to be able to scroll up my likes, occasionally click through things and show you replies. Here's one from Tim Busby that I liked at life at 1:30 BPM. Visual representation. Tim Busby is the only other person you'll see posting Stevenson indicator charts in a straightforward and forthright way. Maybe you'll see some Tesla Q generalissimos posting dumb charts making fun of Stevenson indicator or something. But this one is one I don't even have, which is the Stevenson indicator over-under percentage. So for a while, back in 2020 and 2021, Tesla was trading at a premium to Stevenson indicator with percentages greater than 100% if you just take the Stevenson indicator value, divide it by the closing stock price. That's all this chart is doing. So you can see the highest value was not when Tesla was at all-time highs. It was actually before that. Way back in January of 2021, 9 months after Stevenson indicator began, it was trading at the highest premiums as a percentage. So the Stevenson indicator was double the amount that the Tesla stock price was double the Stevenson indicator way back then. But if you had bought back then in January of 2021, you would be up. Even though on this chart it looks like it was a very high premium to pay relative to Stevenson indicator back then. And you would have done better if you had waited until May of 2021 and bought in here when the stock price was right at Stevenson indicator before it bounced to the all-time highs, which you see here-ish, probably, I guess, is the November 4th of 2021 all-time highs. And then we got into a bear market, and it stayed there for a long time. But Stevenson indicator is making, Stevenson indicator is just doing what it always does. This is the Stevenson indicator line. It's the 100% of Stevenson indicator line. The stock price is making a charge back towards Stevenson indicator now. The discount below Stevenson indicator was never any better than it was in January of 2023, but this year in April was pretty close. You could still get nearly an 80% discount to Stevenson indicator to buy shares of Tesla stock. And if you did buy when Brad Munkin was telling his Substack readers they should be shorting Tesla, you're up a lot. You have made 3 times your money already. And you might make a whole lot more if you just buy and hold, which is not trading advice for financial, whatever the rest of my disclaimers are. Not financial advice. Do your own research for entertainment purposes only, etc. Here's an LMAO from Elon Musk to Eva's Tesla S Plaid. GLJ Research raises price target. Yeah, you saw that post already. Here's one from Jeff Lutz. Genius. With a screenshot of Gergavin here, my 5-year Tesla stock price target is still $315. That's your 5-year Tesla stock price target? Come on, man. My buy price for Tesla remains at $85. Come on, Gergavin. Yeah, that was funny. So I liked that. I guess I'll keep going. Here's one from Freddie. I literally added this link to my calendar for New Year's Eve 2024 to make sure I check back in on this. Precise but not accurate. Price target off by almost an order of magnitude. Oh yeah, cherry on top. V13 is a feature complete for unsupervised L4 autonomy and Cybercab releases 2025. With a screenshot here from POR, my abbreviation for political reality. A year ago I said, demand has plateaued, I was ridiculed, earnings has peaked. I was ridiculed, the stock would continue to decline, I was ridiculed. Competition would come from all corners, I was ridiculed. FSD won't be L4 either, so please ridicule me. Tesla 2024 price target $47. Was what he was saying back in April. Now he's been raising this number ever since. But pretty funny. And that was a reply exclusive to my subscribers. So you are subscribers. You're allowed to see it. I'm the only one who liked it. But this was a reply from Brother Fred to last week's episode of Who's Hating Hard on Tesla Today. I was making fun of POR and Grant Belden last week this time. I've already made both of those videos public that I recorded last week. Here's another one from Karen. Fun to be doing a deep dive into my Rundholtz wardrobe after months of pajamas and sweatpants on the couch or in bed. Hashtag thanks cancer. There's another hashtag for you. So, yeah, that's a look. I dig it. A lot of folks like that post. Here's one from Michael Ferragamo. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Normally this video is about SpaceX and Tesla and Elon Musk happenings. But check it out. Somebody made a chart showing all the landfall locations for all the U.S. landfalling hurricanes on the East Coast or the Gulf. So there's also a color-coded version of this that I think I liked, showing what category each of these storms were. So if you want to know where to move to Florida, south of the Georgia border. Hurricanes never make landfall there. There's been one. There was Dora in 1964 that made landfall along this stretch of the Florida coastline, and everywhere else is a worse chance. Don't move to South Louisiana. I mean, nobody lives out here. This is the swamp anyway. New Orleans is up the river, Mississippi River Delta a little bit here. So this is really marshland way out here where these are making landfall. But yeah, odds are good you're going to get struck by a hurricane if you live on the Mississippi or Alabama Gulf coastlines. They get hit a lot. And of course, the Texas coastline has been hit many, many times as well. But yeah, interesting chart, I thought. What's next? Andrea S. James, at Andrea S. James, congratulations, hashtag Tesla Bulls. What a journey this continues to be, onward and upward. Reposting Alexandra Mertz at Tesla Boomer Mama asking, who got you into Tesla? For me, it was Stephen Mark Ryan. That's interesting to learn. And of course, my first ride in a Model 3 in March 2020. Wow. I had had my Tesla Model 3 for more than 2 years before Alexandra Mertz got her first ride in a Tesla. Forever grateful to SMR. Loud Zoo at Zen Song replying, Andrea S. James is who got them into Tesla. So they could have been in Tesla a long, long time ago, 12 or 14 years ago, when Andrea S. James was on TV making the bull case for investing in Tesla when most people hadn't heard Tesla was a company. That's how long ago Andrea S. James was already an expert on Tesla and why you should invest in it. She was right. So congratulations, Rebellionaire Lioness, Andrea S. James, for being recognized by so many people as being the person who got them into Tesla. If you go read through that thread, Zen Song was not the only one. Andrea S. James got into Tesla, and I imagine they're all very grateful. I wish I had seen those arguments for Andrea S. James 14 years ago. So I could have started investing in Tesla back then. I didn't get in until about 2014, 10 years ago. And then I started seeing replays of videos of her. Here's another one from Karen. In the midst of absolutely miserable chemo treatment, when I was unable to eat food for months, I told James Dauma that my dream goal was to be able to enjoy dinner at Chisai Sushi Club again in San Francisco. Tonight was that night. Forgive my pronunciation on the name of this restaurant, James Dauma. I know you speak Japanese pretty fluently. Here's one from K10 at Christian Netton. Not sure how I feel about an adult man putting Eagle Scout in his bio. I know the prerequisites. Many of us excelled in leadership endeavors in that time period. I don't put them in my bio now from childhood. Yeah. This is that neither of us are saying bad things about being an Eagle Scout. It's great to be an Eagle Scout. That's hard to do. They make you pass all sorts of tests and competencies, I guess, before that you can call yourself an Eagle Scout. So it's not a worthless designation, but it's rare to see it in somebody's bio as at Proven Reserves. Tesla Hater at Proven Reserves does. She's replying to my thread begun. Hiding a reply and then replying with an ad hominem attack is weak sauce, which is what Proven Reserves tried doing to me. I added, would be a shame if a bunch of people reposted the reply you hid. Take your medicine, Proven Reserves. You put on your big boy pants, one leg at a time, and all by yourself, like a big boy. You can handle it. You don't have to hide my reply when I start to ratio you. If you say something dumb, you might get ratioed on X. That's the rules. That's how that works. How do I explain to financially illiterate retards that hashtag Tesla valuation makes no sense was how he began his post. How do I explain that there were 16 million cars sold in the USA last year? Let's assume Trump somehow forces every single car in the USA to have autopilot licensed. Well, you did your math wrong on this. I didn't post this anywhere, but if 16 million vehicles had to have $4,000 worth of autopilot licensed on them, well, that would be $64 billion a year. And you know what the profit margin is on that? It's almost 100%. I almost used a violent epithet with that, but I censored myself just in time for my family audience. So if it's a 99% margin on $64 billion, then it's $63 billion worth of earnings per year, every year in your situation. So yeah, Tesla would easily be worth a valuation in the trillions You haven't done your math because your bias is so strong against Tesla. I replied, he hid my reply, saying Cybertruck sales were a disaster. So John Chabowski at J Chabow on X replied LOL with a screenshot of the post that Proven Reserves hid. And that's how I knew that he had hid my reply, was because John Chabowski made me aware of it. And yeah, K10 checked out Proven Reserve's bio to see him bragging about being an Eagle Scout. All right. She's saying she would find it more valuable if he had accomplishments since being a teenager that he was proud of enough to put into his bio. Here's one from B. Hans at Brian S. Address. I'm guessing is what that stands for. Doesn't show the guy standing next to me with jaw open. What's going on here? Well, I began the post. Driving a Tesla with Smart Summon is like having your own hidden camera show. People in the parking lot will literally stop what they're doing and peek in the side windows to make sure there's nobody driving. I wish I had video of it happening. But B. Hans did post video of his Tesla Model Y Dragon picking him up in a shopping mall area. So that's great, especially if it's raining. Smart Summon is great to have it drive most of the way to you if you don't want to have to run across a rainy parking lot to get into your Tesla without getting too wet. I mean, it would be ideal if there were a porte cochere of some type to shield you from the rain. But even in a situation where there isn't one, you'll be less wet if your Tesla drives to you, as shown here. Doesn't show the guy standing next to me with jaw open. Well, it was very polite of you to not pan over to show the slack-jawed yokel next to you, impressed by Smart Summon coming to get you. But I wish I had video of the person who stopped walking to their car to look into my Tesla with the sun visor still up, which was their clue. Hey, how is the person driving that car with a sun visor still up? FSD doesn't care if the sun visor is up because the camera is in front of the sun visor. It can still see out the front. So yeah, that person fully came to a stop and bent over to look in the passenger window of my car to confirm, yeah, there is nobody in there driving that car. It is an empty car. All right, here's another one from Sawyer. Hashtag Tesla falls to levels not seen since 48 hours ago on December 18th. Back to only 448, which would have been an all-time high a week earlier. Or 2 days earlier was his point. If you think Tesla is going to do this, then you don't know Tesla. Tesla doesn't want or need to acquire a legacy automaker, with a screenshot here being posted from Walter Bloomberg at DITA1. It looks like Delta 1, but that L is an I in the handle. Tesla could look to acquisitions to diversify. Alpha Values Adrian Brazy says, stupidly. It's not impossible that if somebody offered Elon Musk a brand, he would buy it. I just doubt. I have very significant doubts that Tesla is looking to acquire, especially a domestic American auto brand. Like, which one would you want? Would you want Corvette? No. A Tesla Model S Plaid is better than a Corvette. You can't have Mustang. Ford is using it. I mean, GM is using Corvette. What would you want? Like, you're not going to buy Saturn. You're not going to buy Oldsmobile. It's very silly. I did reply to this, didn't I? Yes, Tesla needs to buy North American legacy car company brands like LeBron James needs to buy a book about how to play basketball. That is the situation. Tesla's doing great already on their own, selling EVs. They don't need help from figuring out how to do branding well from buying an old brand. Steven Spencer replying, the only public company that could kind of make an argument for is Lyft because of the built-in user base and how cheap it would be, but I wouldn't even give that more than a 10% chance, 0% chance they buy another OEM. Yeah, why would you want the problems that would come with buying General Motors or buying Ford and having to deal with all their union entanglements, all the political drama, all the very old factories that are only good for making ICE vehicles, those sunk costs in dumb investments those companies have been making up until very recently, right? Why would you want to burden yourself by saddling on all that? You shouldn't. Don't do that. Tesla, if you're watching, just keep your own brand. Make your own brand new brands. It's free to do that. You don't have to pay anything if you make your own brand. Can you imagine Mary Barra trying to sell Elon Musk on a Pontiac or Oldsmobile brand? That's very hard for me to imagine that Tesla would want to buy Pontiac. Why would you buy that? So do I need to back out of here again? I think I do. And scroll on up to show you this one from Sawyer Merritt on December 18th. News, Saya Inc., one of the largest trucking companies in the U.S., has partnered with Tesla to introduce two of the company's Tesla Semi trucks to its fleet. Saya rigorously tested the Tesla Semi in its operations earlier this year and achieved 1.73 kilowatt hours per mile. Our drivers were equally impressed, noting the smooth acceleration, comfortable design, and its ability to maintain speeds on steep inclines. Even while hauling heavy payloads, this feedback underscores the enormous potential of the Tesla Semi. Yeah, not only maintain speeds, Tesla Semi will accelerate uphill with a full load, even on a steep interstate grade in the US, which happens over mountain passes, etc. Here's one from Elon Musk. There will be some buying of cars for individual ownership, but self-driving cars will be greater than 90% of miles driven. Elon Musk thinks through future scenarios. They're hard to imagine, but if he's saying it's going to happen, I'm not betting against him. That may be the case in the future, that most people decide to do self-driving robotaxis for most of their transportation. I can definitely see it happening in major cities like New York City, San Francisco, etc. Those places where it's hard to find parking, I think it makes a lot of sense. Here's one from Rodman. Speculating robotaxis will massively diminish the demand for car ownership. The incredibly low costs of robotaxis, less than $1 for a 5 to 8 mile ride, will make it the most sensible and comfortable way to get around. Using a large family car will likely no longer make any sense, as it is such a big expense compared to a robotaxi subscription that would be on the order of $25 to $100 per month, depending on the length of commute. Compare that to financing or leasing a car, which start at $250 a month today for leases, more like $500 a month if you want to buy outright and own the vehicle. So people still buying cars will be those who can justify the much higher expense for weekend and holiday travel with family, very similar to Manhattan car ownership. This will lead to cars for purchase appealing to more affluent buyers, as less expensive vehicles will no longer be viable due to the low demand. Hashtag Tesla stands to be a massive beneficiary of this change if Tesla can satisfy the high demand for cost-effective robotaxis and do it more profitably than competitors. An easy bet if history is any guide. Yeah, a lot of interesting thoughts there in these replies too. Holmar's blog saying completely unnecessary by 2035. Nobody will be buying cars, meaning most people is what he meant, not absolutely nobody. People do still buy horses. People will still buy cars. There will just be a lot less cars sold every year in 2035. Here's one from Bradford Ferguson. Please make a Who's Hating Hard on Tesla today on this. I replied 100. I have never heard of this clown before, but he's earned one HHHTT episode minimum. Normally I save Who's Hating Hard on Tesla today videos for recalcitrant, recidivist Tesla haters. But this guy I had never heard of before. He has been hating hard on Tesla for a while, I guess. I had just never seen Chapman Scarborough until this most recent, very dumb post. So yeah, I'll make a Who Said Hard on Tesla Today episode out of this. Maybe I'll do that later today. Here's one from Elon Musk. They are just upset that for once in a long while, their attempt to pillage taxpayers failed. Replying to Mario Nawfal, Democrats fume. Elon is unelected co-president. Democrats are in full meltdown mode, accusing Elon of running the show in Washington. Rep. Maxwell Frost calls Elon the unelected co-president. All right, well, I will save my thoughts on that for another day. Here's another one from Elon that I liked. 100, replying to Mike Lee. You know what's not leadership? Writing a 1,500-page spending bill in secret, hiding it from most lawmakers until days before Christmas when they're supposed to go on recess and go home for vacation for the holidays, giving them no chance to identify or fix problems with it, using threats to make colleagues vote for it, and justifying all this by saying you have to get the votes. That's not leadership, it's legislative thuggery. These are the disgraceful methods of the firm. Yeah, you have to get the votes. All right, well, not for a pork barrel spending bill full of unnecessary, wasteful spending that only grows the deficit by more, burdening taxpayers with more debt and more interest payments on debt. For what? For dumb special interest group funding? You can tell that I am against that. Are my libertarian leanings coming through? Yeah, I'm in favor of smaller government. Smaller government is better. Let's let people work efficiently instead of working for the government, which means working inefficiently. Here's one from the Short Shorts historian at Tesla Historian, this day in Tesla Q history. Thanks, the ride was fun. Reposting Tesla snark from 5 years ago. To all Tesla lemmings, enjoy the ride. You were on a roller coaster climbing to the top of the Tesla Q drop. Stick your arms in the air like you just don't care, lean back, and look at the sky. As happy days are here again, what could possibly go wrong, suckers? Well, the ride has been a lot more up than down. Down is what billionaire bully at TeslaQ_snark expected, along with the rest of Tesla Q, and couldn't have been more wrong. Here we are, back up above $400 again. Here's Bill Ackman, at Bill Ackman. I love this guy, reposting Ryan Garretson's video of the guy challenging Trudeau in Canada, who does a great job speaking extemporaneously on wasteful government spending. And I don't have time to show you this video, but go check it out if that's of interest to you. Here's another one from Brian. Got to read the whole article to see that this is, of course, an over-the-air software update, not a physical recall. ABC News said in their headline, Tesla recalling almost 700,000 vehicles due to tire pressure monitoring system issue. No, they just sent an over-the-air software update that changed how it displays on the screen. I replied to this. Well, Brian replied, literally zero headlines mention it isn't a physical recall. I replied, the warning light. Yeah, the warning light on my iPhone 15 needed to be recalled too until I downloaded the latest iOS software update, which fixed the warning light on my iPhone. It's the screen. It's just a screen. It's not a warning light. Here's one from Earl. At 28 delays later, forgot to plug my 2020 Model X in for a few days. Had to run some errands after work with not much battery. Plugged in 3 stops and round trip back home. Car estimated I would get home with 1% battery left, and I did. Calculated it accurately for the cold weather in Alaska, where Earl now makes his home. Courtesy Uncle Sam issuing him orders to move there. He is a doctor in the Air Force, a doctor of psychiatry. Tesla really has come a long way with predictions. I remember doing a lot of math with my 2018 Model 3 to calculate for cold weather, etc. Yeah, Tesla used to be bad at telling you how much charge would be remaining because it wouldn't take into account stuff like changes in elevation or the temperature requiring it to spend some of the electricity heating the battery pack. But now it does a lot better. So a good post there from Earl that a lot of folks liked. Here's one from Simon Hale. I drove my Cybertruck to my barber this evening for a Christmas haircut. As I walked in, my barber and others who work there were commenting on how ugly the Cybertruck was. I'll let you pause and read through this whole thing. It's a long post. But he's saying just show people what it's like to ride around in a Tesla, and then you'll convert them into Tesla fanatics. If they're barbers who work in a barbershop talking about stuff all day long while cutting hair, it's worth it to change their opinions on the Cybertruck as he did. Here's one from Elon Musk. Congratulations, Tesla team, on a great year in 2024. You set records. So a lot of folks saw that one. I don't need to show you that video. Here's one from Nick Cruz Patane, and it's the last post this week. We're done with the video now. If it wasn't for Elon Musk and Tesla, this is how electric vehicles would have continued to look. Showing off the Nissan Leaf, the Toyota Prius, the Ford, what is that? Escort Hybrid or Ford Fusion EV, maybe? Yeah, this dumb Toyota Highlander EV that they stopped updating or whatever that is. All of these compliance cars, this Honda Insight BEV? I don't know what that Honda is. So let me know in the comments below if you can ID all these EVs. But yeah, they were weird mobile compliance cars until Tesla came along and showed that it doesn't have to look like a weird mobile compliance car if you want to make it look like a well-designed sports car. You're free to do so, automakers. Please do that instead. You'll sell more of them than if they look like weird, dumb future design aesthetic. And that's my video for today. So with that, we'll check back in with Loki, who is up and alert and licking his chops. He's ready to get on to his next agenda item today. And I will thank you for subscribing to me. I appreciate your support. All of you who support me, if you're watching this video, I appreciate you. Especially my executive producers, Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com. And I'll see you in the next one.